G'day guys, it's your power coach and Nico here, and in today's video I'm going to do my quick fire preliminary final footy tips, preliminary final weekend. Some say it's the best, finals of footy. Some say it's better than the grand final, even. For, prelim final week, massive stakes with our grand final spot on the line. 2 of these 4 teams will advance through the grand final, while 2 teams will be heartbroken and have their season over. So, let's get into the first game, which is Geelong v Brisbane. Geelong, coming off the week off after winning the qualifying final. Brisbane won last week against Melbourne, breaking their MCG hoodoo in the semi-final in very good fashion by winning by 3 or 4 goals after trailing down by 4 or 5 goals at half-time. Anyways, Geelong are firm favourites, rightly so. In my opinion, it's their premiership to lose. They've been the best team all season, coming up against the surprise packet. Brisbane, didn't expect Brisbane to go this far into the finals. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be wet. I think it's going to be slippery. So I don't know if it'll be high scoring, but these 2 teams are 2 of the best offensive teams in the comp. So it could be high scoring, may not be. Depends if the conditions are suitable for that. Brisbane gets some key players back in their ruckman Oscar McInerney and their big key forward Joe Danaher. So that bolsters Brisbane's chances by bringing in 2 of their most important players. Geelong, no changes for them. They've been stable for a while. So it's a tough one. But I think I'm going to go with the Cats. Because they're too good offensively. They're the best offensive team in the comp. When you have 2 of the best key forwards in the comp in Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins, it's going to be pretty difficult to contain. And Brisbane still aren't great defensively. I know they were good defensively against Melbourne, but Melbourne aren't a good offensive team, let's just say that, compared to Geelong. So, I think the midfield battle is going to be very interesting. Who's going to tag Lachie Neale? Will a Tom Atkins or a Cam Guthrie do a run-with role on Lachie Neale? Because Lachie Neale was very dominant in the elimination final against Richmond. So, I just think Geelong will be too good offensively. So, their forward line is too good for Brisbane. So, I think Geelong will win. I'd say 21, 22 points. So, don't think it'll be a blowout, given the conditions. So, yeah. We move on to the next prelim, which I find a bit more fascinating, which is tomorrow afternoon at the SCG, a sold-out SCG, mind you, between the Sydney Swans and Collingwood. Sydney won their qualifying final against Melbourne a couple weeks ago. Collingwood won last week comprehensively against the Dockers, even though it was only 20 points, but it felt like the biggest 20-point win of all time. So both teams obviously in great form. They only played actually a month ago at that same ground, the SCG, and Collingwood, I think, are a bit more prepared this time. They've trained with the dimensions of the SCG, which is very much smaller and skinnier to the MCG, and there's a huge difference. There's one key player that Collingwood didn't have a month ago, that they have right now, who's arguably the player of the final so far, and his name's Jordan De Goey. Jordan De Goey's been unbelievable in the 2 finals he's played, and he's like the barometer for Collingwood, I swear. Like, whenever he plays great, I think Collingwood win. So Sydney might do a run-with role on Jordan De Goey because he's been deadly in the finals so far. I think it'll be a low-scoring game because both these teams are 2 of the best defensive teams in the comp. So it's going to be low-scoring. I don't expect it to be a blowout either way. Buddy Franklin was terrible against Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. I expect Buddy to be a hell of a lot better. So that should be interesting. Watch Buddy Franklin v Darcy Moore, possibly. So, yeah, but I'm really going to see who goes Jordan De Goey from Sydney. I know it's kind of a generic answer, but I'm going to go with Sydney. Yes, boring, going with the favourites. But yes, I'm going to go with the Swans, I think they have a bit more variety going forward compared to Collingwood. I just trust their forward line and their ways of kicking goals a lot more than Collingwood. They've not only got Buddy, they've got Heaney, they've got Papley, they've got Sam Reid. So they've just got a lot more avenues to go, in my opinion, than Collingwood. Plus, I know numbers don't mean a thing to Collingwood because pretty much Collingwood just beaten the numbers essentially, but I think that might come back to haunt them in this game in terms of like the numbers and how good Sydney are with contested ball compared to Collingwood are appalling at that, and clearance as well. Sydney are great, Collingwood are not good. I think Sydney will win. I think it's where Collingwood, where Flag pies will stop. This is where the Collingwood train would stop. So yeah, I think Sydney will win in a close game by about 2-3 goals. I say 12 points. So yeah, that's my predictions. I think it'll be a Sydney Geelong grand final. I know that's boring because they both took the easy route to the prelim and they're the favourites. But yeah, that's my opinion, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's going to be a big prelim final week. I'll be back next week to do the mega grand final preview. See ya.